and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel this weekend, guys. We have something today that is extra special on the channel, because not only are we going to be talking about Atleti versus Barça on Sunday, which is an absolutely massive game, so excited about that, but we're also going to be talking today more about PSG versus Barça. That is the game right now that is on everybody's lips, and Xavi today and Luis Enrique as well have given their full reactions to the Champions League draw. We're going to be discussing it all, so come on and let's do this. But today's extra special video is coming to you courtesy of Manscaped right here, because if you're anything like myself, having now booked our place in the Champions League quarterfinals, well, when that time comes, you want to be looking sharp, you want to be looking extra crisp and ready for the grand occasion, because hey, we've got to enjoy this opportunity. We haven't experienced this lately, and we intend on making the most of it, and that's why Manscaped are here to help all of you guys out with a whole range of men's grooming products at your disposal, whether it is going to be the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, that is the go-to, the full body groomer, or do you want to go for the entire performance package 5.0, which also includes the Weed Whacker, Crop Soother, Crop Preserver, and the Shed to keep everything neatly stored away. And whatever it is that you are looking for right here, Manscaped will have you covered, and you can get 20% off your order right now just by using the code TalkFCB at checkout. And a big thank you there to Manscaped, who have been a big help to the channel in tough times this season, just like all of you have been as well. And hopefully now there's some extra special times that await us. Because if we first of all do kick off with the big game on Sunday, Atletico Madrid versus Barça, live from the Metropolitano. That there is the final game on Sunday. It is prime time viewing, and it really is, and it should be, because this should be an absolutely fantastic game between two really informed teams right now. Because although coming into the weekend, guys, when you're looking at the table at the start of the weekend, both of these teams here, Barça and Atleti, they're third and fourth. They're not really doing themselves justice domestically. They have underperformed, no question about that. And I'd say Atleti there even more so than we have. They're such a long way back, way behind where they should be. But what is really interesting, like I say, about this game is that right now, in this very moment, the two teams are really feeling good. Both teams are coming into this game off the back of a really special week. For Barça, obviously we had one of our highlights of the season with that win over Napoli. And it wasn't only the Champions League qualification that did that for us, but it was also the way that we raced into that 2-goal lead, that we really felt alive in that game, and the atmosphere inside the stadium. It just felt as though maybe things were starting to come together, something we've been waiting for all season long. And of course then there's Atleti. I mean, what a win they had themselves in the Champions League over Inter Milan. I've got to say, I thought Atleti in that second leg were absolutely fantastic in the way they played. They really took control of the game. They put so much pressure on what is a really good Inter team, and they came out on top, and they deserved the win in the end, in my opinion. But of course, in doing that, in the drama of it all, at the height of the occasion, they did though have to go all the way through extra time and then all the way to penalty kicks, which I'm sure will give them a real high to have won that, to have come out on top after penalties. But given they were already playing one day after we did, it'll be interesting to see on Sunday if there's any hangover there. Will Atletico Madrid just be feeling a little bit leggy? We've got to look to capitalise on that. If we see any tiredness whatsoever, we've got to look to really target that. And I think by far and away, the most important thing this weekend for Barça is to follow up on their performance, follow up on the feelings we gained against Napoli. And what I mean by that is, start this game with that same hunger. I know that we're not in our own stadium, I know that we don't have the atmosphere all behind us, but it still will be a huge atmosphere inside the Metropolitano. Let's go for it again. Let's be brave, let's be bold there, because how many times this season have we had a good win? How many times this season have we been feeling as though, is this the moment where we're going to turn the corner, and then suddenly the next game, it all comes crashing back down again? We don't want to go down that road. We do not want that to happen here. And I think it's even more important because of the hope, because of the excitement now that we've gained from that Champions League result, and the draw, of course, the ties that we have to come, and this being the final match before the international break. You want to end on a high, because you want to keep now that momentum going, and especially if you can here, sign off a week beating Napoli, beating Atletico Madrid, back-to-back wins there, and you've got 2 weeks then without any game to enjoy those feelings, to build the confidence confidence to really feel good all before these Champions League games next month, it is vital that on Sunday, Barca deliver. Because when you are thinking then about the potential starting lineup to face Atleti on Sunday, I think quite honestly, guys, would you like to see the same team that faced Napoli? Because we have had a decent amount of rest. For once, we didn't actually pick up any extra injury problems. We've had a good week of training here. And like I say, everybody's feeling really confident. So would you actually there play that same team with particular emphasis on Rafinha, I think? Will he take up that same position, that same role just off to the left-hand side, cutting in? Will Cancelo be as advanced as he was against Napoli? And of course, there's players as well that you can use from the bench. We use Sergio Roberto with a lot of effect in the game against Napoli. Will he have a part to play in this game? And also, don't forget, João Felix. Will he play against Atletico Madrid there? He was the match winner in the reverse fixture earlier on in the season. And of course, we're all going to be interested to see how the Metropolitano greets him. What sort of reception is João Felix going to get against Atleti? And the one last thing I'd say about this game is that don't forget, this particular matchup right here could potentially be a Champions League semi-final. Both of us are on the same side of the draw. We are both targeting making the semis, and if we can both navigate our quarter-final ties, this might be a dress rehearsal for the matches to come. But of course, guys, as much as that is such an important game for Barca on Sunday, really key there to keep building that momentum, I just couldn't fail today to talk about PSG versus Barca, because look, I know the game is still several weeks away. Obviously, our priority is always on the next game. We can't look too far ahead here, but these are ties against PSG that I don't think any of us can stop thinking about. I think everybody right now is so energised, so excited for the challenge, and that is what it's all about, because there are people that will say here that Barca fans are getting a bit carried away, that maybe they're thinking a bit too optimistically ahead of the Champions League here. And look, I'm not saying that we're 100% going to beat PSG. It's going to be tough. But we've got to believe, we're in the Champions League, we're excited and we're happy to still be a part of it. So why can't we dream? Why can't we actually go into these games feeling confident, having belief, having hope? Dreaming is free at the end of the day, and we can enjoy this journey. That's the whole point of the Champions League. That's why we want to still be there, because whilst we're still in the draw, anything can happen. And indeed today, guys, it was very interesting to hear the reactions from the coaches on the Champions League draw. Starting here with Xavi, who did admit it's a difficult draw because PSG are one of the most difficult opponents that we could have faced. But Xavi said there, we're excited though. He said we have the return leg at home. That is a big boost to us. And even he said it's time to dream and show here that we can compete at the very top level. He said we are highly motivated. So even Xavi there is saying, look, the time has come now to dream. Let's see what we can make happen. Let's aim as high as we possibly can, and who knows what we can achieve. And he said maybe you could say that PSG are the favourite. He said I've heard that being said, but he said obviously that would have to exclude history because we have won more Champions League. Let's just put that out there. PSG are way behind in that department, but he said financially we're not really the same with what they've been spending of late and what we've been spending. He said but what you have to do is prove it all. You have to perform out there on the pitch. And I think Xavi here might actually be enjoying just Barca going under the radar a little bit. Nobody's really been talking about us too much there. We got past Napoli, we're in the quarter-final now. People aren't saying, look, PSG are the big favourites, they're going to be the team to beat, of course, in that tie, but we're quite enjoying this underdog feel. It's not something at Barca that we're particularly used to, but people can write us off. People can think there that we've got no chance. People maybe can underestimate us, and we may be able to use that to our advantage. However, though, if there is one man who will certainly not be taking Barca lightly, and one man who knows all about what the club of Barca is capable of, well, it's Luis Enrique. He has seen it all, he has done it all here at the club. And I have to say, I absolutely love there his reactions to facing and drawing Barca in the Champions League. He sounded genuinely happy to be going home, as he said. He said returning to Barcelona is like I'm coming home again. He said it's like Christmas. He said it's the city where I've spent most of my career, a city where I felt absolutely wonderful. And he did admit Barca is a very difficult team to face. They have very high level individual quality in their team. So Luis Lucho will not be writing us off by any means. And then, of course, in typical Luis Enrique fashion, he was asked about the comeback, of course, one of the most famous nights in the Champions League, their Barça 6-1 against PSG. Was that the best moment of his coaching career? But Lucho said, well, no, it absolutely wasn't. He actually said today it was a pointless match. He said it was absolutely pointless because in the next round, Juve kicked us out the competition. We didn't go on and win the Champions League. So he said there that it was pointless, although he did admit it was special, but not his most important moment as a coach. And then he went on to say that I don't really know Xavi's work as a coach. I haven't seen it hands-on, but he said he knows my work because I coached him. He said I actually would have loved him, Guardiola or Arteta to coach me when I was a player. But he said Xavi knows this level. He has won the Champions League several times, and certainly there, between these two coaches, there's so much respect, so much admiration as well. Xavi would have learned a lot from Luis Enrique, even things that he would have taken on then into his own coaching career. And I think it will be special to see the two of them on the touchline going head-to-head. People have compared it there to when Pep returned to Barcelona in 2015, of course, to meet Luis Enrique in the Champions League. Barca were able to come out on top in that occasion. Xavi will be looking to do the same. And I just think, again, because of all this excitement, because of the hope, and maybe even some expectations starting to show now, the most important thing for Barca is that this Sunday, against Atleti, keep this run going. Keep stringing the wins together, the quality performances, maximum confidence in the squad, because we want to be hitting our peak level now. These are the weeks to come here that can make or break our season. They can make us dream. We can reach higher levels, and let's see on Sunday what we can produce. Please let me know, guys, in the comments down below, what are your predictions for Barca versus Atletico Madrid? Can we follow up the Napoli win? Can we make here another big step? And a big thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in, and a special thanks as well for all of the super thanks that are coming in. It's been an amazing time right now on the channel with all of you this week. I just want to keep these feelings going. I just want to keep here hoping and believing, and Barca have to help us with that. They have to keep it going out there on the field on Sunday. I will see all of you guys tomorrow for the big reaction. Let's hope we can do something special. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.